Hey everybody, it is Harcion here, coming to you today with my newest Trickstar deck profile. I took this one to locals and went X and O. I mean, it's locals, so that's not really saying a whole lot, but yeah, it did pretty well. I only, I think 2 games went 2-1 and the rest were all 2-0. I may be wrong, there may have just been one that was 2-1, but I know I 2-0'd several people, including Mirror Match. So let's just get right into this deck profile here. So we'll start off with the main deck. So Trickstars, triple Candina, triple Lycoris, and the 1 Lilybell. Not much to say about that. I've been considering putting in a second Lilybell just because she's so good, but I still just don't want to. You don't want to draw her. You want to search her out with either Candina or the field spell. But she's really good. I won several games just by poking with Lilybell a lot. Like, that sounds dumb and funny, but you know, there was one game where my opponent had like was it like 2,400 life points left. I had the field spell, normal Lilybell, poke for 1,000, bring back Lycoris. Or bring back the Lycoris, summon Lycoris by bouncing Lilybell, and then Lilybell summons herself again and attacks again. And it's just really good because there's basically 2,000 damage right there. And you have Lycoris on field for that burn whenever their draw phase comes around. So that won me a couple games. Next up, just the 3 Eater Millions. This card won me a lot of games as well. It is a little bit bricky at 3, but we don't need the extra deck too much. It's still a really good card to see. I've been considering putting it down to 2. I'm not sure, though, but it worked pretty well at 3. Then we're going for the hand traps. 2 Honest, because attack boost is still always really good, especially if you're leaving like 800 attack Lilybell on the field. Let me clean this up a little bit here. Yeah, Honest, because attack boost is still really good. 3 Ghost Ogre. Really good against several matchups. Still a really good card. I considered playing Effect Veilers instead, but I like the Ghost Ogre interaction a little bit more. She'd hit a couple more things, like some spell cards that were problems for me. And then to finish up our monster lineup, 3 Droll Unlock. I only got off the double Reincarnation Droll Unlock. Or I think I just got off Reincarnation Droll Unlock, I think, twice the entire night. One time I got rid of the guy's entire hand and basically won the game. The other time I only was able to get rid of like 3 cards from his hand, and he still had some graveyard presence. But still pretty good. I usually end up siding these out depending on the matchup. Next for the spell cards. 3 Light Stage, 3 Terraforming. Nothing special there. 2 Scapegoats. I'm only playing the 2. I actually have options in here for Scapegoat now. I didn't the last time I did this deck. Or last time I did a deck profile on this. I can go over those. I'll go over those when we get to the extra deck. But I like 2 Scapegoats because 3, while Scapegoat is still like a really good card, I feel like 3, especially with one of my techs that I have in here, is not a great play part of the time. And for the 1-0s, we have Monster Born and Raigeki. Monster Born, pretty good in this deck. You can get some play extenders. You can actually get your Trickstar links out a little bit more often, which is nice. Or you can link someone in general a little bit more often, which is nice. Actually, I did go into Holly Angel once just to beat over something that had a... What was that? Something had 1,900 attack, Saber Source or something. And I ended up going into Holly Angel because I didn't have 2 Lycoris to go into Phantom Knight. And of course Raigeki self-explanatory. Now for the traps. This is a very trap-heavy build. That's something I've been playing around with. I might end up siding... I usually end up siding some of these traps out, going... depending on if I'm going first or going second, that sort of thing. And this is the part that's the most fluid in the deck. This is the part that I might change more in the future, depending on where the meta's going. So 3 Reincarnation, gotta have them. Pretty much... You don't need this for games. Like, the burn is nice and the disruption is nice. But really, I have been using this card more for the revival effect. Like, yeah, there's Monster Reborn, but I've had times where I reincarnation my opponent's 1 card just so I can get the revival effect to go off. But, yeah, it's really nice utility. Next up, I'm doing 3 Bottomless. I was debating for a while between 3 Bottomless and 3 Torrential. I like 3 Bottomless a little bit more, just because the deck doesn't have a whole lot of recovery. It has Lilybell, the Reincarnations, and Monster Reborn, but there were times where I would Torrential when I had like 2 Lycris on board and I couldn't make a comeback, so I ended up liking Bottomless a little better. Now my tech choice, I'm main decking 3 Anti-Spell. This is mostly for the Pendulum matchup, but there's a really interesting interaction with Anti-Spell and Light Stage. So if you get Light Stage out and then you set your Anti-Spell, your opponent has to set all of their spell cards before they can activate them, which allows you to lock them down with Light Stage. It also prevents your opponent from end phase scapegoating you, because spells cannot be activated until their turn after it's set, so they can't end phase scapegoat you, which is a really good thing to stop right now. But of course that prevents me from end phase scapegoating as well, so that's why I'm only doing the 2 scapegoat. I'm maining the 2 Mind Crush. These are usually something that I end up siding out, so I might just move these to the side deck. I'm not entirely sure yet. I like them being in here just for evenly matched. It's also really good at just any deck that searches, being able to just Mind Crush whatever card out of their hand. Especially if you did Reincarnation, you can actually get some guesses off. If you can see, like, what your opponent has, like, banished already, you can kind of make a guess at what's in their hand. And then my 1-0s, I'm doing 1 Ring of Destruction, 1 Salt and Judgment. I was playing around with this being Warning instead for a little bit, but I like having Ring of Destruction in here, just because it can stop battle, it can stop just big monsters that don't have any protection from targeting. And it's just really good. It can... it can't win you games, but it can get you pretty close, and it can get rid of problem cards. And unlike Warning, which, yes, it also gets rid of problem cards, but this can help get rid of... it can help get rid of life points, too, because it does burn. Alright, extra... well, let's do side deck first. Side deck. Wind Witches. I liked these more as a side deck option because I have so many techs in the main deck right now that these were a good side deck option as far as if I needed things like if I'm fighting a deck that's low on spells, I don't need the anti-spell. So there's 3 cards to take out. If my opponent doesn't search a lot or doesn't have evenly, I don't need the Mind Crushes, so there's something else to side out. So basically I have a lot of cards that can be sided out depending on the matchup, so I like this engine. It's a good engine with the deck anyway. This is because I really like the 2 together, but I felt like I wanted the main deck to be more hate focused for the current matchups and the current meta. So I have these at the side deck as a option for going into Crystal Wing and things, which is still a really good card. 2 Chaos Hunter. I've been playing around 2 or 3, but I'm not entirely sure what I would want to take out. I would probably take out either... Well, let's see. I'll go ahead and show my next card to explain. I'm doing 2 Chaos Hunter and then 3 Santa Claus. I'm not sure about this ratio. I've yet to have a match. Santa Claus is mostly in there for an additional out to Masterpiece, other than just Honest. But I've yet to actually run into Masterpiece yet this format, which is interesting. Of course, he gets over towers and things like that. I prefer Santa Claus to Kaijus in a Trickstar build because of his draw effect. Can get Lycris to do some extra burn damage. As well, his attack isn't super high. Like, if you give them Gamma Seal, Trickstar's attacks aren't running very high, so yes, they can't get over this very easily with its defense, but they can't get over you as easily either. And because of the burn, the draw is mitigated a little bit. Of course, Chaos Hunter is good for the Trickstar matchup, good for ABC matchup, good for Dino matchup. It's just really good. So I'm considering just doing 3 Chaos Hunter and 2 Santa Claus instead. Just really good. I actually won a game by just sitting on Chaos Hunter, just having it sit there, and the opponent couldn't do anything to get over it, and it was hilarious. So I'm probably going to do 3 Chaos Hunter and 2 Santa Claus. The 1 Dark Hole, I'm not sure what I feel about this. I might take this out, I might main deck it, I'm not entirely sure yet. And then 3 Cherries. I picked these up when they got relatively cheap again. They were up high for a while, and then I waited for them to go back down. So there. Now for the extra deck. Holly Angel, only Trickstar one. I don't run Black Cat Bat. I don't like the card as a card. Once the more link-focused stuff comes out, you want her in here just as an extra name. Just as a one-of, but Holly Angel is still going to be your better of the Link 2. Well, Holly Angel and Crimson Heart are going to be your better Link 2s. For Scapegoat, we got Mrs. Radiant and Proxy Dragon. And then our Link 4 that we're going into is Topologic. So Topologic, for one, was a cheaper option than Borreload and Firewall. Again, I think of the Link 4s that we have right now, this one is probably the least useful, but he's still really good. With the Reincarnation as a trap, you can get his board wipe effect off relatively easily. As well, I won several games with his burn effect just because the opponent didn't expect it. Like, I would just run over their monster, and then I was like, oh yeah, and you take their attack points as burn damage, and they were just like, what? So I got some fun wins with Topologic in there. For our Wind Witches, we have Crystal Wing and Winterbell. And then the last 2 real cards in the extra deck are Break Sword and Decode Talker. Decode Talker, I think I went into like once to get over something. I think I used it to get over Baguska, actually. Break Sword, still really good in the deck. Probably the best extra deck monster for pure Trickstars right now, until we get the new Link support. It's just a really good card in general. The rest of the extra deck is basically Cherries targets. With the way the format is right now, I didn't really have a way to fully anticipate every Cherries target, so some of these are really good, some of these aren't. But here we go, and of course everything I showed before can also be a Cherries target. So ABC Buster, Double Helix, Toad, Omega, Koshik, Darklaw, and then Starving Venom, just to prevent the Magician OTK if that, or the Magician FTK if that comes up. No one at my locals was running it because they all agreed that it was degenerate and shouldn't happen. But there we go. I probably in the future, if I can pick one up, will put Electrum in here as a Cherry's target, probably in place of Starving Venom. But it will depend on what we see the meta defining as to what I put in there. But there we go, guys. That's my updated Trickstar deck profile. Let me know down below what you guys think. If you have any suggestions on my text or things that I should probably edit. Like I say, the only major edit I can think of right now is doing 3 Chaos Hunter and 2 Santa Claus instead of the other way around. Other than that, I don't know why I put the side deck there. There we go. Other than that, I really like the deck as it is right now. It has a good amount of stun as well as a good amount of burn. And I like that balance with the deck. As far as like being able to disrupt your opponent and burn them at the same time. That's one of the reasons I like Trickstars as a deck. But anyway, I will see you guys later. Leave me a comment and a like if you like this deck profile. And I will see you guys later.